Hello, boys and girls. Today's writing tip of the day is presented to you by Mrs. Lawrenson. Today, we are going to talk about the difference between the pronoun who and the pronoun whom. Of course, this also applies if we're talking to the pronouns whoever and whomever as well. So we're going to talk about, first of all, what's the difference between who and whom, tips for deciding which one to use, and some practice problems, and then we're going to look at your own writing and find out, have you used the pronouns correctly? So first of all, here's the difference between who and whom. So who is a subject pronoun. Who does the verb in the sentence, like he or she. Whom, on the other hand, is an object pronoun, which means that whom receives the verb of the sentence. This is like a pronoun him or her. So let's look at some examples. If you can substitute the word he or she in the sentence, then who is probably the correct word to use. So for example, in this sentence, who is late for class is my question, and I could replace who and say he is late for class. In the other situation, if whom is the correct word to use, you usually have to rearrange the sentence a little bit, but the word him or her would fit in. So in this sentence, whom did you meet at the party? If you just put in he and you just said he did you meet at the party, it doesn't make any sense. But to rearrange it and put in him, I would say I met him at the party. And here's my little tip for you. Here's how I always remember it. Whom and him both end with M's. So if that helps you remember that whom is like him and who is like he, then that can help you remember. So let's pause the video right now and go ahead and answer these questions either in your own head or write them down on paper. And in a moment, after you've had a second to do that, play the video again and I'll go over the answers for you. Okay, so now that you've paused the video, let's talk about the answers. So the first one, I'm not sure who left this book behind because I could say he left this book behind. For this one, I could say who wrote this play because I could say he wrote this play. And then this one, Alex, who is always on time, was late for class today because I could say he is always on time in that sentence. Now let's do the same thing with some more problems. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can figure out the answers to these ones. Okay, so now let's figure out the answers. For this first one, blank did you ask to the dance? The answer is whom, because you could say I asked him to the dance, not he did you ask to the dance. And then for the next one, she wants to know who her secret admirer is, because he is her secret admirer. And then Paul, whom everyone loves, will be singing at the concert, because everyone loves him. You could not say he everyone loves. So now let's go ahead and take a look at your own writing. Look at any time in your writing that you've used the word who or whom or whoever and whomever, and double check that you've used the correct one. I find that in my experience, people usually use who in all kinds of situations, including times when they should be using whom. So more often than not, you might have used who in the incorrect place. But it all depends on your own writing, so take a look at it, double check using the rules that I've taught you. Just remember who is like he and whom is like him. Happy writing!